All right. Here I am, the Old Growler. I tell you, if anybody can see this, just let me know. I'm on a live chat. It says say something here, so I'm gonna type in something and see if it says anything. Howdy, all that HOWDY, howdy, and I'll type that right in there, and there it's what it says. It says howdy. So I'm going to sit here and chit chat for a little bit, just to get things started in a way. I figured that since we've got this situation and nobody's around, I'm hoping that let's see, what do we got? 3 people here. Do we have 3 people? I'm looking. Okay. Well, let's see. Looks like there's 3 people. Let's see if I can do something like that. That doesn't work. Well, let's see. I don't want to do that. Where are we? There we are. We're back again. Oh, there we are. Hey, Dave. How you doing? Decided to join me, the Old Growler, and have a beer, did you? Oh, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. It's kind of a gray afternoon out there. Did a little bit of work. And decided that, well, since oh, water, not beer. That's quite all right. I tell you, as long as you've got somebody to sit here and chat with, I'll be a happy man. That's the truth. And let's see now. Mostly today has been a little. It's been distracting, as we all know. It's not the best of circumstances. Managed to get some good email out. A little bit of writing, not too much. I've done some outlining. But, well, geez. What do we got here? We got, what am I going to be testing out or tasting out? We got Founders. There's a Founders Brewing Company. They've got 4 Giants IPA, an Imperial India Pale Ale. Imperial, when they start talking like that, that means that it's usually a high alcohol beer from the folks in Grand Rapids. And let's see. Oh, yes, it's 9.2%. 9.2%. Hi, Tom. How are you? I hope you got yourself a beer in hand. I've got 4 Giants IPA here, and it's around 9.2%. And let's see, what else have we got? We've got another Founders. Wow, this was bottled back in November and last year. Well, this is 11% alcohol. Boy, this for those folks. They sent me some great beers. And finally, a Schlafly's Dry Hopped Stout. And this one, oh, this one's down there. This is 5.7% alcohol, 40 IBUs, so international bittering units. That's quite a bit of bittering units for a stout, don't you think there, Tom? All right. Let's see. What should I start with? Since I've got a smidge of an audience here, which label do you think we should start with, Tom? Do you think it should be the Schlafly, or should I go with the Founders? Oh, hey, Mary, how are you? Oh, you got to put your name on there so that I can see you there. No, and then thanks for the smile. I appreciate that. That's the truth. All right. Let's see. Let's start. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I'm going to last too long here. All right, we got the Schlafly Dry Hopped Stout. Now, this is 5% alcohol by volume, 40 international bittering units. Now, for those of you who aren't beer drinkers, international bittering units, the higher the bittering unit, the more bitter the beer is going to be. And this is St. Louis Brewery. And let's see, they've got the 10%, the 10-cent deposit, and all kinds of good stuff. I'm trying to find a date to when it was maybe brewed, but it doesn't say. Yes, it does. No, yeah, no. Well, I can't read it, but here we go. I'm going to crack this open. Schlafly Dry Hop Stout. The good folks at Schlafly sent that to me, which I am forever grateful for. All right. The first beer of the Old Growler season. All right. Well, it's got a nice knit head on that one, I tell you. Yeah. Not too much of a malty aroma. A little bit of the hops on that. Sir, let's give it a taste. Now, I wouldn't. That's okay. It's a lot smoother than what I expected a stout to be. And it doesn't have that rasp on it. Kind of reminds me of a porter. But porters are usually a little bit smoother. Boy, there we go. I got the glint on my glasses. I wonder if I can fix that. Let's see. Move that down a little bit. As you can see, the warden has given us a very nice cell here. And let's keep going with the Schlafly Dry Hop Stout. And again, the dry hopping usually would give you more of an aromatic, I would imagine, but it doesn't this one. It's a beer and it's refreshing. Does anybody have any questions for the Old Growler? How I got the name, anything like that? Just ask a question and I'd be perfectly glad to let you know. Well, don't be shy there, folks. Anything about beer? Any questions? Let's see. All right. Well, at least the folks from Norton, they've told me that they've blocked an attack by a Faker Tech Support domain. So I'm happy with thank you very much, folks, from the security folks. Well, let's see. Well, that's Tom says he can't say that he's run across too many dry hop stouts. That is the truth. I'd have to agree with that. I'd have to take a look myself. Dave, what's the biggest surprise you've ever had when tasting a beer? Oh, well now. That's a good one because there's always when you read a label on a beer bottle, sometimes you are surprised by what's in it. But the biggest surprise I've ever had, that has got to be when I taste a beer and it is so supremely balanced that it's almost like a symphony, except that it is all it's a symphony of flavors, but it's so well balanced that it is seamless in the separation of the flavors. And there is no separation. It all blends together, similar to maybe a good spaghetti sauce that just is just so well balanced that it's almost a work of art. Every once in a while, you hit a beer that is a work of art. And I think that's probably the most surprising thing, is to hit a beer that really is a work of art. A lot of well-made beers out there, that's for sure. Um, in fact, over the last 20 years, the quality of beer has certainly increased. So I would say, Dave, that the most surprising, the biggest surprise I've gotten was when a beer hits that balance. And the folks at Schlafly have done a fairly good job with this one. But the fact that I was expecting a stout means that I was expecting a denser flavor, and it's just not quite. Okay, thanks for the thumbs up. I'm going to leave that glass over there. There's a little bit of, in fact, there's, well, a bit more than usual left in that bottle. Let's try something else here. All right, we've got a French toast bastard. I wouldn't know what a French toast. Now, first of all, how would you do? I'm sure that it was a good a pun there. For some reason, I missed it, but it's the Mothership series. So, and there's no real explanation of what the Mothership series is here. No. Let's read the rest of the label. You are holding in your hands an ultra-limited brew team favorite beer only found at our taproom locations. Oh, boy. Whether it is an old standby we brought out of retirement or an experimental new style, it's sure to go quickly, brewed for a chosen few, and you're lucky enough to be one of them. I'm not quite too sure how to look at that. And Mary has asked, do I have a big enough beer stash for the quarantine? Yes, I do. Actually, in the extra bedroom, there is what, as you would know, is the shrine. There's at least a case of beers that have been sent to me, and some of them are old, but I've tried to keep the higher alcohol ones so they can age well. Oh, John, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. You decided not to let me drink alone. I do appreciate that. I really do. And you've shown up just in time for the French Toast Bastard from Founders, their Mothership series. It was bottled on the 5th. It looks like the November 15th of last year, and it's 11.1% alcohol by volume. It doesn't say what the IBUs are though, but I'm not going to guess. But these are from the kids in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And there's if this goes, if I can figure out how to put this up into my postings on the regular videos, there will be a click up there for some of the other French toast types of styles of beers that we've tasted. And if I can't do that on here, take a look at the videos that I have done, and you will find another French toast there. And but we're going to crack this one open, see what it's like. Okay, John, how's the weather up there in Massachusetts? Just let me know about that. It's raining here. Let's see, Tom. He's downing a Great Bear Ursa Major, 6.6% alcohol from Four Quarters Brewing in Winooski, Vermont. You had a milder lager set up, but 2 inches of fresh snow on the ground so far suggested something darker. A darn good idea when it's snowing. I remember that. And John, he's cracked open a Trillium Homestead IPA. And it's not cool up there. It's cool, but not raining yet. Okay, John. Well, let's toast each other on this one. I'm going to pour this Founders French Toast Bastard right here. Oh, boy, that's got a red color to it. Wow, that's something to look at. It is dark, as you can see. So, to all of you folks that are watching, cheers, be safe, and I hope you enjoy drinking a few beers with me. All right, let's take a whip. Oh, wow, that's a real, that's more of a chocolate than a French toast. I don't know what they got the French toast from, but boy, oh boy. You've got snow coming down in New Hampshire, Mayor. Well, let's, we've got rain here, so it's a participatory day. So let's take a sip. Wow. Now, Dave, you were asking me about surprises. This is a surprise, but it's in the other direction. Um, this has got to be one of the weirdest beers I've tasted in a long time. It's not unpleasant, but it's not a beer. Essayons and cheers for sure. There's almost a maple syrup flavor to this. Salute, Dave. Oh, geez. Well, John Mellick up there in Massachusetts says it's snowing there. So maybe it's on this way. Maybe it's on this way. Boy, oh boy. Okay, this French toast bastard. It's got some, as I say, maple syrup in here. I would call this as a maple freeze or a maple trees or a maple treat. But you know something, I'm gonna put that over there. Let that sit for a while. Maybe it'll be better if it warms up. Well, thank you, John. Almost like maple syrup. A recommendation, yeah. If you're expecting maple syrup out of a beer bottle, that's the truth. Okay. Robert. Oh, wow. It's good to see you, my friend. And well, the atmosphere here is not quite the ale house, but I'm hoping to build a little bit more of an atmosphere. We'll have to see. As you see, some of the lighting is not quite ideal, but I'm working on that. This is the first having beers with the Old Growler, and so it's an experimental thing. Okay, Mary, I agree with John. Would you recommend that to someone who isn't a huge beer fan? What would you recommend that to someone who isn't a huge beer fan? The French toast. Would I recommend that to someone who's not a beer fan? You know something? I'm not sure, because I think that they would expect something coming out of a bottle like this to taste like a beer. And I would have to sneak it into a glass. Probably, I might even put an ice cube in it, just to fake them out. But it's always tough when people don't like beer to get them to try something. However, the Belgians have some wonderful fruit beers, and you put that in a champagne flute, and you can pass that off as a wine. So I would say that would be the only way to really convince somebody. And this one is not. I'm not going to convince anybody that it's a tasty beer, and I'm not too sure I could convince them to like it or even to try it. But there's always a chance. There's always a chance. All right. Well, got 10 more minutes here of time, and then let's see. I'd be willing to try something maple flavored too. Remember the raspberry Belgian beer? Yes. Oh, yeah. The Frambois from Lindemans. I'm sure, John, you've had one of those, and Tom Bedell is. Both of us have tasted some of those in beer tastings. The Frambois. Oh, those are beautiful. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We've got another Founders. This is a Four Giants IPA, an Imperial India Pale Ale. Now, when they start throwing names around like Imperial, we're talking high alcohol, and an India Pale Ale means a very, very high hop content, supposedly. Traditionally, anyway. Let's see. It says We've made a lot of Imperial IPAs over the years, and in turn have made, pardon me, I'm going to have to take these off so that I can read it. Had a lot of arguments over which one is the absolute best. So to settle this once and for all, brewers mashed up four of our favorite recipes into the ultimate Imperial IPA. Four Giants boasts aggressive bitterness balanced by a malty sweet backbone, while huge aromatics come courtesy of the 7 American hop varieties. And this was bottled on, looks like March 10th of this year. Okay, so that is only the last week, a couple weeks ago. So this is a relatively new beer. Well, it is a new beer. And it's 4 of their beers put together, and they've got 7 different hops in here. So, okay, Dave, this one is going to be surprising to me if it balances out, because that is a real challenge to be able to do that. John, one of my first beer loves was Schultes Berliner Weiss mit, oh boy, here, you know, you put the German words in there. It's okay, well, I'm going to try it, though. I'm going to try it. Mit Himbeerenschuss, raspberry syrup. Thanks for the comments on that. That's right, Mayor. In particular, the Berliners have a wheat beer, a Weiss beer, and they put Woodruff in it, and it's a green color, and they put raspberry in it, and that turns it a red color, and then they have the main one, and that's kind of an orange color, and it's similar to the traffic signals. And I'm sure that's not the reason that they did it, but they tried. Okay, let's crack open this this 4 Giants IPA. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Wow, that's a pretty color. What do we got here? Wow, that is clear. Take a look at that, folks. That is a very clear beer. Well, yes, there's a lot of hop aroma in here. Definitely a mix. I can't. I'm accustomed to Cascade hop, which gives you a grapefruit flavor, Citra, which will give you a lemon flavor, and Kent Golding, which is kind of a raspberry or blackberry type of an aroma and flavor. So it's going to be interesting to see what the combination. If there's 7 hops in here, it's really going to be difficult to balance it. So this is going to be a real Walinda trick. Okay, this is a Walinda trick, and I will say that in most beer tasting events, this would be a puzzlement, because it is called an Imperial IPA, which was a very strange name for putting together beer. I mean, everybody has put together names and made up names of beers and things like that. But as I say, an Imperial I would expect to be darker, but an IPA would be the same color. So I guess Imperial means a higher alcohol content, and it seems to have it, but the hops are so well balanced that they almost disappear. John, Olmsted has a strong flavor dominated by mango, piney flavors, and almost no bitterness. It's 7 ABV. No bitterness at 7 ABV. That must be a pretty warm tasting beer. That's what I would figure. Okay, well, you've got a good one there. I'm gonna have to take a look and see if I can find one down here. Of course, I was asked earlier if if I was going to try to taste Corona, and I guess I'll have to go out and get a bottle of that to taste it as well. But getting back to our founders here, the four giants. Um, it's tricky because, again, in beer tastings, you want something to stand out, to catch your attention, and this one wouldn't. And that's it's not saying it's not incredibly well made. It is nicely balanced. A Corona bottle, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you have to have the lime to keep the flies out of the bottle. That's the truth. The Imperial IPA is Founders. Founders. The kids in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Founders Brewing Company. Tom, take a look on the website, on the again in the YouTube there, and you can see we've done a couple of other Founders tastings, and we had, I guess it was about a year ago, we had a chance to interview the brewers there when they came to New York for a tasting of 3 or 4 of their beers. I seem to remember the Mountie. It was a morning stout, a breakfast stout, and they tried to put a RCMP on there, and the RCMPs got a little upset, so they had to call it something else and change it. Oh, okay. Boy, it's been a little while since I've sat down and had a few beers with some folks, so it's a real pleasure, I'll tell you. Tom, right. I linked above to a piece I did on a visit to GR. Oh, well, I tell you what. Send me the if you say you said did you send the link? Well, you linked above. Okay, well, send me the link. I'd love to see it. Okay, John. In a few minutes or seconds or so, John's going to BRB. Be right back. Oh boy. So let's see. It's as I would be sitting there talking to my beer buddies. Oh well, what have you been doing? Google Chrome video download helper has crashed. Click this balloon to reload the extension. Oh, I didn't have to click it; it disappeared. So I don't know what's happening here, but this is the. Oh, we've just hit our 28-minute mark. This is the first time I've done anything this long in a long time. As long as you folks are still there, still interested in watching the Old Growler, well, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I'm as I say, as I mentioned before, and as Mary asked, how much beer do I have here? Well, I've got at least 3. I'm guessing 3 cases easy, and that's just here. So it's a matter of getting stuff out of the fridge. I know I've got at least 3 6-packs in the refrigerator of different beers, and so there's going to be plenty of them to taste. And so I'll be able to tell the folks at the different breweries to take a look at this, and we'll see what they think. Okay, let's see, we got a couple of smiles there from Mare. Is that what it is? Yes, sir. Or either that or tears. Which are they? I don't know. I can't. The old man's glare. It looks like she's laughing. She's laughing, crying and laughing, or laughing and. Well, that's pretty funny, huh? Okay, well. Oh, laughing. I see. Okay, they're laughing. All right. Oh, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Oh, at the amount of beer. Yes. Well, you see, that's over the. It's been a while since I've been writing and getting the breweries to actually send me beers, and so there was this lapse last year of quite a bit of time, and so there's some really old ones in there. Tom, we remarked earlier that your beard used to be dark. We're pretty much into Santa Claus impersonation now, aren't we? Uh, well, let's see if I can get that there. I'm going to do the Amish look. See, there we go. That's the Amish look. And I've been actually I'm thinking about not trimming this beard until this whole situation is over. It's just kind of a protest. So I'm just gonna, or as my way of taking control, I'm not gonna trim my beard. No, sirree. I'm gonna trim my mustache because pretty soon I'd have a real tough time eating. But you're right. Tom Bedell, a fellow who, for the rest of you kids that are just that have joined us, Tom Bedell is. I do a little introduction here. He was a writer friend of mine, author. He's covered golf and beer. A real entertaining fellow to read. Amish, you all in New York. I wish I was. That'd be kind of funny to find an Amish in New York. We're here. Somebody's got to be here though. But let's see. Amish. I wouldn't Amish it for nothing. Okay. Well. Oh boy. You see, the beers that I've been tasting came out of the refrigerator like about 30 minutes ago. So beers, as for us beer drinkers, for beer aficionados, we know that they change in flavor when you warm them up, similar to if you have a nice cake and you take it out of the refrigerator, you have to immediately, and it's cold, and you try and eat your cake. You're going to get sweet, but that's about it. To where if you leave it out, you can get the sweets and the chocolates and all the different nuances and things. So that's the same with beers. And so let's trip back through these again. The Founders 4 Giant, an interesting nose. But it just doesn't catch your attention. The Founders Mothership, French Toast Bastard. I still can't get over that little baby. I'm sorry. Warmed up. And when I say warm, I don't mean it's warm. I mean it's cellar temperature, which is 50 degrees, which is chilly. But damn, that maple syrup, I got it in my soul. I got it in my soul. Would it meet expect? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Dave, for asking that. It's meeting expectations because that's what we're known for in the tasting. Says, does it meet expectations? Okay. The Four Giants IPA from Founders, the Imperial India Pale Ale does not meet expectations because I was expecting to have a lot more hop punch in that. So, no, it did not meet expectations. The French Toast Bastard, it didn't meet expectations, but it's growing on me. It is a very tasty beverage. Now, if it wasn't a beer, or if it was named something else, I might be more inclined to find a common ground on that. But it doesn't meet expectations, but it is a surprising taste flavor. And the first belch of the night, the Schlafly Dry Hop Stout. Now that did not meet expectations. I was expecting again a very aromatic and a very particularly in dry hopping, it would have to be a pronounced bitterness. And it did say that it had 40 IBUs, which isn't terribly high, but it didn't meet expectations. So we had two that didn't. Actually, all three didn't, but one came out a little bit ahead of the others simply because it is a taste experience that is flavorful, but certainly not expected. Oh, geez. It is, Tom, yes, making expectations is one thing. Is there one you'd seek out again? I'm afraid not. No. Uh, the French toast bastard is a nice experience. The other two, would I look for them again? I don't know. No, there's they're no, no, I wouldn't. That's how that goes. Um, I wish I'd had the fortitude or the to be able to. Oh, I've got one right over here. There's always a can of beer lying around. Uh, Tomorrow we'll try Three Brews Local Conclusion India Pale Ale right here, and a couple of the other local Brooklyn beers, and see if they can meet expectations. Okay. Yeah, Tom. Every once in a while, it does happen that way, but this is kind of unusual. I've never had a I've never had a strikeout. This was different. Let's see now. Tom, last question from me before I have to roll. What's the soundtrack in the background? Yeah, I've got real problems with that because it is one of my Pandora channels, and it is uh, uh, Charles Trenet. Charles Trenet, and he is the fellow who wrote the original La Mer, the sea. I think that's going to probably screw me as far as YouTube and doing any kind of monetization. But I can, to heck with them all. I'm not gonna bother with that. But thank you for noticing, Tom. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of a French sound to the background there. All right, Tom. Well, you have a good time. Take care of yourself. I hope maybe we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be on tomorrow. For everyone who's watching this, I'm going to be on tomorrow again at 5 o'clock, and we'll have three other beers, two other beers at least, maybe three. I might have to husband my supply, but I'm going to give it a try to have at least two beers tomorrow. I want to thank Mary and Dave. I want to thank Tom. John, and let's see who else we had up here. We had another. Let's see, Tom. Mary, Tom, John, Dave, Robert. Yes, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And have a good time. Smoke your cigar there, Tom. And I myself am going to go have myself a little smoke myself. So thanks everybody for stopping by and having a beer with the Old Growler. Robert, I say tomorrow, stop by as well. I'd certainly appreciate it. If I can make it anywhere like the Ale House, I certainly will. John, your last message: when the traveling becomes possible, yes. Absolutely. There'll be no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Okay. Hope to see everybody tomorrow. You all take care of yourself, and cheers.